EA Sports. It's in the game.
Stop me, oh, somebody stop me. Stop me, stop me. Please, somebody stop me. Stop me, oh, somebody stop me. And Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me. Stop me. Stop me. Stop me. And Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop me.
This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
For Carson, CD, quite a season, although maybe somewhat under the radar, but part of the NFL's top rushing offense, and he was 5th in the league.
1,151 yards, 9 touchdowns, and Seattle got back to their identity, which is a run-first offense that provides some pretty good thump inside the tackles. And how about Chris Carson? A 7th-round pick 2 seasons ago out of Oklahoma State. Never ran for 1,000 yards in college. Does it here in the NFL. Pretty underrated name with a big-time game.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1.
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Black 58 round. Black 58 round. Green. Blue 45. Blue 45.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, and the Chiefs are going to get him. Justin Houston in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Penny on the counter. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And this is caught at the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Out to kick is Janikowski. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. For the Chiefs, Charles, looking back to last year in summation, 12-4, first time as the #1 seed in the AFC since the mid-90s, 1995. And, yeah, there was a lot of disappointment, understandably so, after that loss to New England, but it's like we were talking about with Patrick Mahomes, a lot to be proud of.
Certainly.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 79 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point safely through, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle makes their way back out here, Charles, let's take a little deeper dive as they go into the offseason, what they need to do. They led the NFL in rushing yards. You talked about it. They ran the football well. Where do they need to improve?
Maybe a little less stubbornness in establishing the run at times, because Chris Carson, their lead back, didn't get started against Dallas. Mike Davis couldn't add a whole lot. Rashad Penny, who was a rookie, he didn't add a whole lot in that one as well. Sometimes you have to let Russell Wilson be the guy and let him throw it around. They'll continue to work on that in the offseason and fortify him with a few more weapons on the perimeter, I believe.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Being chased out left. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Allen Bailey in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
On second down, Wilson. And an alley to run. A gain of 32 that time. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll toss it out to Carson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Now Wilson on second down. And that is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd and 4.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Wilson dancing to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 35. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After the interception, here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And I think the ball's out. And this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a toss play. It's Carson, and he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense? That's right there. Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He can run for it, and he will. They opt to go for it, and they get it. First and goal after a pickup of 5. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Out to kick is Janikowski. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. Well, CD, the NFL held its awards show the night before the Super Bowl, and as you and I had speculated the last few weeks, Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, and for the second straight season, how about Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, Donald was expected. We knew that was going to happen. Mahomes, we thought would happen. There was that school of thought that maybe Drew Brees might walk away with the MVP since he's never won one, but Mahomes a deserving winner. How about the Offensive Rookie of the Year? Saquon Barkley with the Giants. Many thought it might be.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
To throw is Wilson. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Operating from the gun, Wilson. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now it's Wilson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half, it's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it is incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And now look at him go. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
On the ground, this is Williams. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Damian Williams, 14 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Butker now to add the extra point. A little surprising they wouldn't go for two, but this is up and good, and we are tied at 14. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run it with Carson. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
This is Carson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They go play action here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Wilson. And an alley to run. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Big jumbo!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
Forced out to his left, and his pass incomplete.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is third down and 12. From the gun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and we will remain tied here in this third quarter.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 45. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the fourth quarter. Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And it's complete to Kelsey. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Chris Conley from 8 yards out. And the Chiefs have broken our tie as they take the lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 21-14. Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they?
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.